Sam Warburton. A strong England benefits the entire game as Wales face a test of patience. Former British and Irish Lions captain Sam Warburton believes that England's resurgence under Steve Borthwick is not only good news for Twickenham, but for rugby union as a whole, arguing that the global game needs strong, commercially powerful teams to thrive. Writing in his Times column, the Wales legend acknowledged that his view may be unpopular back home, but insisted that England's rise is essential too. The health of the sport at both elite and grassroots level. This will not go down well in Wales, of course, but a strong England benefits everyone. Warburton wrote, England's revival has been one of the defining narratives of the past year. After Steve Borthwick took over from Eddie Jones in the turbulent build-up to the 2023 Rugby World Cup, England defied expectations by reaching the semi-finals in France. That achievement, however, was followed by a period of inconsistency as the new coaching regime attempted to rebuild and modernize the squad. That'd be why the end of 2025, that transition appeared complete. England closed out the year with an impressive run of 11 consecutive victories, climbing to third in the World Rugby rankings and establishing themselves as the Springboks' closest challengers in the eyes of many observers. Momentum now carries them into the Six Nations before a daunting trip to South Africa for the opening phase of a newly introduced Nations Championship. England's commercial gravity for Warburton. England's importance goes far beyond results on the field. He argues that England remained the commercial engine of Northern Hemisphere rugby, particularly within the Six Nations. In terms of television viewing figures, it is their team that attracts the majority of eyeballs to the Six Nations, he explained. Commercially, they're a real heavyweight, and their recent rise up the world rankings will have only strengthened that position. In an era where professional rugby is grappling with financial instability, Warburton made no apology for highlighting the role of money in sustaining the sport. Like it or not, money makes professional sport go round, he wrote. World Rugby needs a strong England, and it sure looks like we are all going to get one of those in the next few years. England's resurgence, he suggests, raises the profile of international rugby, boosts broadcast revenues, and helps stabilize competitions that are under increasing economic pressure. Eyes on the Six Nations and beyond England now turn their attention to the Six Nations, where they will enter as genuine title contenders rather than hopeful rebuilders. The championship will serve as a further benchmark of Borthwick's progress before a brutal visit to South Africa, where they will test themselves against the world champions in hostile conditions. Many analysts now rank only the Springboks above England, a dramatic shift from the uncertainty that surrounded the squad just 18 months earlier. Warburton sees this upward trajectory as healthy competition that forces other nations to raise their standards, something he believes rugby desperately needs. Wales. Hope amid the hardship. While England's rise has been impressive, Warburton's heart remains firmly with Wales, a nation that has endured a deeply challenging period of back-to-back wooden spoon finishes in the Six Nations, followed by a horrible Autumn Nations series that included heavy defeats to the All Blacks and Springboks, have left Welsh supporters questioning the direction of their national team. Yet Warburton sees faint signs of hope. Wales managed to score 4 tries against New Zealand, and despite the scoreline, the performance offered encouragement. I saw enough from that game to suggest that, with the 3 blue teams, France, Scotland, and Italy, at home, they may be able to nick a win over Italy or Scotland, and hopefully both, he wrote. That, in Warburton's view, could be enough for Wales to realistically target 4th place in the Six Nations, a modest ambition by historical standards, but vital step in rebuilding confidence and belief. Why Wales still matter. Just as Warburton argued that rugby needs a strong England, he also believes the game cannot afford to lose Wales as a competitive force. I really want that, not only because I'm Welsh, but also because the world game needs a strong Wales, he wrote. You need as many strong teams as possible in the top 13 in the world, and at the moment that means those in 11th, 12th, and 13th, Wales, Japan, and Georgia respectively, being much better than they are. In a global game, striving for balance and competitiveness, the depth of quality beyond the traditional elite is crucial. A decline in nations like Wales risks widening the gap between the top teams and the chasing pack, reducing the unpredictability that makes international rugby compelling to call for patience despite the frustration felt by supporters. Warburton urged patience, stressing that Wales' problems cannot be fixed overnight. As for the national team, everyone in Wales needs to be more patient, he wrote. This is not a problem that can be solved overnight. Encouragingly, Warburton revealed that his optimism is informed by trusted insight rather than blind hope. My brother, Ben, who is a physio and someone whose rugby judgment I really trust, has been working with the national under-19s and 20s, and he is adamant that there are some potential stars coming through. This, Warburton noted, has not always been the case in recent years. That has not necessarily been the case for a while, he added, but it may be 5 years before we can see them really making a mark in a competitive team. A bigger picture for rugby. Warburton's message ultimately extends beyond national allegiances. His argument is rooted in the belief that rugby's future depends on multiple strong nations pushing each other forward. Commercially, competitively, and culturally, England's resurgence provides financial stability and competitive pressure. Wales' recovery, if managed with patience, could restore depth and balance. Together with emerging nations like Japan and Georgia, they form part of a wider ecosystem that must remain healthy for the sport to thrive. In an increasingly competitive global sporting landscape, rugby cannot afford complacency. And, as Warburton suggests, it cannot afford to lose its traditional powers either. For now, England are leading the charge. Wales must wait, rebuild, and believe.